Hello, I hope you had a good sleep. Want to talk to you about qualifying your time. Oh my God, if there's ever a subject we need to talk about is this one. I've never in my life seen so many people who want to just just overtake your time, and they don't do anything you recommend them to do anyway. They just want your time. And so this is what I want to share. Now, we all know that we all are given, as we all are born into this world, we all are equally given a certain amount of time of the day. We can't even stop time. We can't even tell God to hold up our time. We can ask, how we say, please grace the time, redeem it, I will redeem it. But we can't buy time. We can't do any of this. But you only have a certain amount of time here on earth and a certain amount of time daily that we can get some things to do. Because the Bible says that when night comes, no man can work. But what I'm saying to you now is that we got to recognize that some people have no business with your time. Now, I don't mean to make it look like that we're so perfect and that we're so better than someone else because, we're saying that we're going to qualify that person for our time. But to be real, you're going to have to qualify your time with people that you're talking to, or qualifying your time for situations or things that you're doing. Now, let's look at the word qualify. The word qualified means to limit. It means to reduce. It means to restrain. It means to temper. It means to fulfill requirements, okay? It means to fit. It means to suit. It means to pass. It means to be what? In a what's called requisite type of mode. It means to meet the demands, to be endowed by nature for, to measure up, to meet the specifications. That's very, very key. When we look at that, that also means it's a certain class, a certain kind, a certain state, a certain condition, or a certain worth, or worth of excellence, something that's in right standing or right position. We got to recognize that people who do not fall into this type of category of a definition, you're wasting your time. Now, I say that because you are wasting your time. Too many people just sit and leech off your time and never ever say, here, let's talk about how I can serve you. Now, I've taken some time from you, Dr. Murphy. Now, how can I serve you? But most of the time, we waste our time with people who are grumblers, complainers. All they want you to do is let you dump in their ears about what's going on in their life or their family or their job, but they don't want to let this thing, that time that you're sowing into them, as they use you as a dump truck, trash, to say all these things that they grumble and complain about. But when you give them this sound counsel, they just say, oh yeah, all right. And then they leave you, and you're drained and you're tired, and you can't get to do the things that God has designed for you for the time of that day. And so we've got to recognize that if we don't start to, qualify people in our relationships, or qualify things that we need to get done on a daily basis, we're going to waste time. Every day I orchestrate my time. I mean, that's from going to the store. That's from getting things done that I need to get done on a daily basis. Because a lot of times people waste a whole lot of gas because they don't have the time qualified for what they're doing. And sometimes you may have people with you that do not qualify to be with you as you're taking care of day-to-day, work. You've got people who holding you up in your time. I won't do that. I will not sit and talk. And I know I'm talking to you. You sit and you talk on the phone all day long with people, or you texting them all day long back and forth, wasting time. Or you're taking that time that you should be taking care of ministry business or your own personal family business, and you're wasting time even with your sister, girlfriend, or your bro. And when you need to be doing things that are time important and time sensitive, you are wasting time with people who are leeching, I'm going to keep it real, off of time and your time. And so what I want to say to you concerning this time, we've got to stop letting people waste time, and we've got to stop letting people come into our space who do not qualify for our time. And one of the greatest things you can begin to do right now is think about the people who leech off of you, call you like a dump truck, and then disrespect you and will not even take the counsel you're trying to give them. Because why? They just want your time. They just want your time, in other words, your time of ear. They want your ear, and they don't want your answers. And I'm telling you right now, when God gives you sound counsel and you waste time, and you're that one that's wasting time, God is going to hold you accountable for that. Because you wasted time with the person that he's giving you the answer through, and you sit there and you go back to your hell and refuse to use the time wisely of the counsel that they gave you. Now, the sad part about it is that many people today, husbands, wives, children, and even people on your job, they waste a lot of time doing things, try to backbite, doing things, try to set traps, just waste a lot of time when they're going to fall into their own traps and they're going to eat the fruit of their own lips. It just don't make any time. We've got to qualify, make any sense. We've got to qualify our time. We got to look at those tasks and those people who are very difficult. We got to, and go ahead on and make sure that we just do not even answer that call, do not return that text. Because in this time is very, very delicate. We waste too much time trying to get people to understand where we're coming from. We waste too much time trying to get people to say, oh, I believe you, or I like what you're doing. Wasted time. It just burns me up when people waste time. And so I highly recommend in this short message is that you begin to get a list this morning. Get your list, look at those things that you need to do, and then look at those people who are involved in your space of time to get those things done. Because if you do not do that, that means you're not exploring ways to get your daily amount of time to get things done in a sensible and a constructive manner. You need to look at those people who are calling you and giving you triggers of distraction, triggers of anger and frustration, where all these heavy weights. You can't even think. You can't even get organized because they're constantly calling you and texting you and wasting your time. Getting you ticked off about what they done said on the text, or getting you distracted about something they got, on their mind that they want you to try to answer when it's really none of your business. They don't qualify. Many of these people could be your own children. Many of them could be on your job, or maybe those in the ministry with you. But you need to look at that very closely, that definition I gave you. And they do not fall into those qualifications, if they do not fall into the realm of making sure that they're there to become an equal of what you need to be getting done in your amount of time for the day, is something wrong with that. You are wasting time. I'm telling you right now. And so you need to start to identify those people who, like I said, are grumblers and complainers, and the woe is me's, and want your advice, and they don't follow them. You need to write them down, and you need to verbalize realistically with this self-talk first that I've got to stop letting them waste my time, and that now as you give yourself a self-talk, you now need to give this personal talk to let them know I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. I'm not going to be, oh man, I don't want, just listen, I don't want to tell you, just explain this to me. I have people do me all the time. I want to ask you a question. And then it goes to a whole counseling session. But the devil is a lie. No more wasted time. You've got to understand that this is the hour that we've got to make sure that we take every moment, every piece of our time. There's no more delay. We cannot waste any more time. We got to work on getting our families together. That's time. We got to work on getting our ministries together. That's time. We got to work on making sure that we stay healthy, stay strong, and in prayer time. We've got to stop letting those people who are leeches, I call them sapsuckers, to take the strength and the very anointing out of our lives and waste our time. And we cannot do what we need to do for kingdom building. You can't do what you need to do for your family, because you're too busy letting these dumpsters, these sapsuckers who do not qualify for your time. Now, qualify your time, as I said before. Verbalize situation, find out, who is that calling you and giving you all these heavy voices, heavy conversations about what's going on with them, and then you so discombobulated by the time you finish talking to them, you don't even know what you need to get done for that day, because you done let them dump all that stuff on you, and then now you can't get nothing done because you got to try to shake that mess that they done brought to you. You done wasted time. You got to identify these spirits that's coming to you. You got to make a log of those people and make sure that you do what? You give them that short, simple talk that You cannot waste any more time. And I can guarantee you, if you look at the situation that is self-defeating that you're doing right now with your time, you think on the thoughts, you think on the things that you've done. Are they valuable? Are they bringing anything to the table to help you get things done? You look at these things. If it's always gimme and never bringing, you're wasting time. The time is very delicate for you. You need to list those things. Record those times they call you when you're feeling depressed and low, because that spirit will leap off on you. Listen and think. Become assertive. Talk. Say what's on your mind. And do not allow people to keep bringing those complex, these angry spirits to you, trying to get you to be so, emergency 911 discussions. You need to learn how to take your time, qualify it, tell them you cannot do this right now, and when it's time for you to be able to give them that time that you need, you'll give them more sound counsel, you'll be more relaxed, because why? You have chopped out, sliced out the time that you're going to take for that person, and you're no longer wasting time. Now you're giving them that time that God has allotted for you to deal with them when it's time. But these angry spirits, these greedy time spirits, these spirits that's causing you with their personal business, and they're not listening to sound counsel, you're wasting time. Get it right now. Now again, I want you to reinforce this by making a list of those people who are coming into your space, those people who are calling you all the time and texting you all the time with all these crazy remarks and all these crazy conversations that's making you feel weighty and you can't get nothing done. You've got to identify these things. You've got to become assertive. You got to describe them, or else you're going to eat the fruit of the consequences of those things that you do not qualify your time. It's simply that. It's up to you. Good night. Good day.